Grapes are one of the most in-demand fruits in the world. They are made into juice drinks, food additives, and one of their famous end products are wines. In today's Lord Gizmo video, we will be looking at how these grapes are harvested and processed to become wine. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more. The whole process starts with harvesting the grapes. This process can be done with the help of both manual and mechanical means. When grapes ripen, they're picked by hand or machine, usually between August and October. Each type of grape requires its own optimal picking time. Some grapes can be left to hang longer than others for better flavor development. This process impacts the eventual taste and quality of wines. First, this vehicle goes through the multiple rows of grapes. Then, the farmers place these baskets that will act as the collection bins of all harvested grapes. Then, they will be transported to the processing facility. These crates of grapes will be received by the workers and will be prepared for checking and weighing. This is done to make sure that all of the grapes are of high quality and sufficient weight. After that, these workers will begin to open up this gigantic machine and slowly load the grapes inside. They will fill it up with the grapes they have collected. If you're wondering where these grapes will go, this machine actually leads them to this station where they will be collected and prepared for further processing. These vehicles are programmed to wait at this spot and catch the grapes from the machine. Depending on which company, these grapes can be smashed in different ways. Although most of them use machines, they still have different methods of doing so. However, the process always starts with cleaning the grapes. Then, they need to destem or remove its stem and other unwanted particles to make sure that the juice collected will have a clean and consistent texture. Then, they will be placed onto this machine that serves as the company's crusher. Once it is filled to the brim, its top part will be locked and closed. Then, the workers will slowly lower the crusher to extract the juice from the grapes. This machine is connected to the hose which leads all the grape juice into a specific collection bin. Once done, they will open it up again and shovel through the batches of grapes. This is done to make sure that even the grapes on the bottom of the surface are crushed properly. Then, the process of crushing begins again. It is important to take note that different presses or crushing exists too, and it is all depending on what the juice will be used for. Did you know? For white wines, gentler pressing is often preferred to avoid extracting too many tannins and phenolics from the skins and seeds, typically using pressures around 0.2 to 0.6 bars, 3 to 9 psi. For red wines, where more extraction is desired, higher pressures up to 2 bars may be applied. Traditional basket presses and modern pneumatic presses are commonly used, with pneumatic presses allowing for more precise control over the pressure applied. ensuring the optimal balance of juice extraction and quality. This careful application of pressure is crucial for producing high-quality wine, as it affects the flavor, clarity, and overall character of the finished product. Here is another interesting fact. To produce one bottle of wine, which is typically 750 milliliters, about 25 ounces, you generally need about 600 to 800 grapes. This translates to roughly 2.5 pounds, 1.1 kilograms of grapes per bottle. The exact number can vary based on factors like grape variety, vineyard yield, and winemaking techniques. For instance, larger grape varieties, or those with higher juice content, may require fewer grapes, while smaller, more intensely flavored grapes may require more to achieve the desired volume and flavor profile. To gather the many stages of grape processing and extract the appropriate liquid components, grape processing factories use a variety of techniques. The principal aim is to achieve superior wine quality while reducing expenses and guaranteeing effective production. Crushing and de-stemming grapes is the first step in the processing process. At this critical point, the fruit's skins, stems, and seeds are removed, releasing juice that will later turn into wine. The grapes are broken down into little pieces by crushers, which makes it easier for de-stemmers to remove undesired components and leave only pure pulp behind. The next step is pressing, in which the pulps are compressed to release more liquid using hydraulic presses. Press and free-run liquids are the two forms of liquids that are obtained. Free-run liquid pairs well with white wines since it is transparent and has less tannin components. In contrast, press liquid has a higher tannin content and is opaque, making it perfect for red wines. Pneumatic bladder presses or gravity settling tanks are used by grape processing factories to remove particles from liquids, guaranteeing the purity of the extracted liquids. With the use of these technologies, producers can get purity and clarity in their finished goods without sacrificing flavor qualities. Cold stabilization follows pressing to remove excessive tartrates, a natural component of grapes that can negatively affect the appearance and flavor of the resulting wine. Fermentation then begins, converting sugars present in the grape must, which are its juice, skin, and seed mixture, into ethanol through yeast activity. Aging completes this process by refining the taste profile of the wine, ultimately yielding an exceptional beverage ready for consumption. Depending on grape variety and producer preferences, grapes must undergo cold soak at around 50 Fahrenheit or 10 Celsius for several days pre-fermentation. Following the fermentation process, the wine is bottled in pristine glass containers. Natural corks are used to seal the neck of each bottle, preventing oxidation and contamination of the wine. The bottles are labeled with important details such as the producer name, grape variety, vintage year, alcohol concentration, and any appropriate cautions before they are filled with wine. With sterile filler that assures less exposure to air, wine is meticulously poured into bottles. To preserve the wine's quality during the filing process, this procedure also entails keeping an eye on the wine's pressure and temperature. And there you have it, your favorite wine is made. This now ends our video on grape harvesting and wine production. But let's not stop at grapes. Let's dive deep into the harvesting process of olives to produce amazingly tasty olive oil.
Olive farms and their workers are doing their best to produce high-quality olives that will supply the needs of the market, hence the reason why they are extremely expensive. In today's Lord Gizmo video, we will be taking a glimpse of how olives are produced. This will also help us gain a perspective on what accounts for the high price of olives. So just sit back and get ready to learn as we start another farm process video. In any agricultural or farming process, it always starts with preparing the land. The farmers till the soil to make sure that the olives will be planted in an environment that can support its growth. Through the help of a machine or planter, olive tree seedlings are planted in rows. They make sure that a certain interval between the seedlings is followed to ensure that they will grow without affecting each other. Then, a farmer will anchor these seedlings to a stick that will serve as its support while it grows. Once the soil is ready, the olive tree seedlings are planted at regular intervals. This is usually done using a specialized planter that can handle multiple seedlings at once. The seedlings will need around 3 to 5 years before they can produce their own fruit. Usually their flowers appear in early spring. During their first production of fruits, it will not be as productive as its growth in its 8th or 10th year. In this growth period, they will benefit the most from early pruning and training to form a single trunk and a framework of 3 to 4 main branches. When it comes to harvesting olives, different farms do it in different ways. There are some who do it manually. Small-scale producers, or those who prioritize quality control, harvest olives by hand and only pick out the ripe ones. In today's video, we will be looking more on large commercial operations that use machine harvesting methods. Most of the time, they use harvesting combs that go through the rows of olive trees. These machines have large hair comb-like parts that take the olives off of the tree branches. The collected olives are then moved to a container through the help of a conveyor belt. Other farms also employ the process of shaking. From the name itself, it's either a machine or their own workers shake the olive trees so the ripe olives easily fall off. Did you know olive trees, some of which are thousands of years old, can still produce olives and high-quality olive oil today? Olive trees are known for their remarkable longevity, and some ancient olive groves in the Mediterranean region have been passed down through generations for centuries. These ancient trees not only produce delicious olives, but also contribute to the cultural and historical heritage of the regions where they thrive. After the harvesting process, the olives are then transferred to respective vehicles or containers. This is in preparation for selling them. Usually, olives are sold to mills in bulk. Mills either get it directly from farmers or negotiate through intermediaries such as olive oil producers. Depending on the variety of olive, the quality of the crop, and the location where they are grown, the price of the olives can also vary. To check these factors, olives are processed in these conveyor belts. Did you know olive oil production alone can range from 3 to 4 million tons per year? Olive sales include not only table olives, but also olive oil and various olive-based products such as olive pit fire starters. Dry olive pits are flammable and can be used as a natural fire starter for fireplaces, wood-burning stoves, or campfires. They catch fire easily and can help get a fire going quickly. Once they are sold, they will be transported via these big conveyor belts. At the same time, their physical appearance will be checked. In some facilities, this is also where each of the olives will be sorted according to their ripeness, size, color, and quality. If they saw that there are unripe olives during this process, they will be separating them and storing them for later use, while the ripe ones will be ready for processing. The olives must first be thoroughly cleaned using water to get rid of any dirt or other particles from their surface. This keeps the product's flavor constant and inhibits the formation of mold. There are also other facilities that put olives through centrifuges, which spin them quickly to remove any last bits of dirt, such as pits or stems, that might still be on the fruit's surface. After being pre-processed, the olives are sent into crushers, which use pressure rollers with stainless steel surfaces to break up bigger pieces into smaller chunks, so that no flavor residue from earlier manufacturing runs affects the output in the future. Additionally, by releasing more oil from each olive, this technique improves the olive's overall consistency once they are ground into a paste. The olives are crushed and then run through high-speed hammer mills to compress them even further into a fine paste, but retains some coarse particles for body when added to recipes like salad dressings or hummus. The adjustable screens in these hammer mills enable modifications based on the needed particle size standards of global customers that import these items via bulk shipment containers. When it comes to pressing olives, most facilities follow a standardized method designed to extract maximum oil yield without compromising the final product's sensory qualities like taste, smell, and appearance. Once reduced enough, these particles move directly onto either traditional two-phase hydraulic press systems. After that, the refined olive paste will be added to this white filter and arranged in a circle. These will be made in batches by the workers, who will then stack them on top of one another. After that, a press machine will be used to gather all of the oils from them. The crushed olives are placed inside the press and compacted in a chamber. This pressure causes pomace, a solids-rich material, to be left behind after the oil is removed from the olives. After that, the mixture they have gathered will be transferred to this apparatus called a centrifuge. This will be spun at such high speeds so that the heavier olive oil will be moved towards the walls of the container. This will now help with the separation of oil and water. Oil is the most important product in this process. Once they have acquired the oils, it is now time to transfer them to the packaging area. It will be bottled to prepare them for a wider market distribution. That concludes our exploration into the world of extra virgin olive oil. We really hope this video taught you something new and fascinating. Always remember to seek out premium cold-pressed olive oils that were extracted through conventional procedures, while selecting the ideal olive oil for your purposes. Come back soon for more entertaining stuff, and don't forget to tell your friends and family about this video.